Hi peeps, I'm Auriel Grace, and tonight we're talking about the Karmic Board. So this is the last video of the Ascended Masters series for the summer. Yay! And many of you have asked me for this video. So here we go. Now, first, these are the references that I used. All right. 1 is the Keys of Enoch. 2, Urantia book. 3, I have a link for this video, some of the information that I got for this video, and it's the Ascended Masters Encyclopedia. All right. .org. You can check it out. I'll put the link in the show notes on my website at aurielgrace.net. Click on the Clarity 101 tab. Okay. They'll be up tomorrow. Okay. So, many of you have asked me about your people that have passed away. Are they okay? Yeah, they're fine. Why wouldn't they be? That's always my question to you. Why wouldn't they be fine? Sometimes they're not, though. Sometimes they're like, they decide, I'm going to stay and be nosy and not go through the light. Or they're afraid. But that's for different videos. Most of the time, they're fine. And they're going through a review. And you may even hear me say that. Oh, they're going through a review. Because that's what happens. All right? So, what happens when we pass through the veils? Well, we pass through and we are received. And we start a review of the life that we have just lived. Like, did you learn the lessons that you intended to? What did you do? And then you are also informed of, like the completion of that lifetime, right? And then when you're ready to come back through, I know some of you don't believe that, but for those of you that do, that believe in reincarnation, when we come back through, we do a review. And we say, the karmic lords, or the lords of karma, and other people like your ascended masters that are going to help you, your spirit guides, your angels, all those, your group, your team, your crew, they're going to work with you on a life plan. And you can decide, like, what you want to learn, how you want to learn it, give you the choices, all that good stuff. So it is a flexible plan, because why? When you get to Earth, this is a free will planet, right? Free will. So when you get to Earth, you might just say, you know what, chuck it. I'm gonna go live in the woods and not deal with anybody. But most of the time people don't do that. They'll come on board, they come down to Earth, and they do their thing, right? So, and this happens for everybody, not just one person, not just the special people, because the karmic lords do not think of anyone as specifically special. They think of everyone as being special. Okay? Everybody. Just like the angels. Angels, same way. They're just like, you're special. I love you. Let's do this. Okay? Okay. So, that's what happens. So that way you kind of know, like, what it is. And you can do some more research on it. There's plenty of books that will talk to you about this, that will tell you about it, that you'll learn about it and everything. So go look for them. If you're going to go on to, if you're going to Amazon, just put in the book section, when you're looking for books, reincarnation. There's tons of them there. Okay? Check it out. See what resonates with you. Again, it all has to resonate with you, right? All right. So, the Lords of Karma, or the Karmic Board, there are 8. There are 8 Lords of Karma that assist. Now, I want you to remember that karma is karma. It's energy. It's the energy that we create all day long, every day. This video, I'm creating karma. Okay? So there's personal karma and there's like community karma. All right? That's what I call it, the 2 different things. They have other words for it, but these are the 2 things that I call it. Personal, me, or you, I, and community karma. Like, what do you do for your community? How do you do it? How do you express yourself? So community karma is like just being nice. Just be nice. If you see that somebody is struggling and you can help them, help them. Nothing wrong with that. Okay? So, community karma. I do these videos. This is a community karmic effort to help you. And me too. Because every time I do a video, I always learn something new. And it's like, oh, cool. Because I'm all about learning stuff. And that's why I always encourage you to learn more as well. All right? Karma is not revenge. So we need to, cross that out. You're like, whoa, when is that person gonna get their karmic stuff? Don't do that. Just, if you don't like somebody, or if you feel like somebody has caused you harm in some way, shape, or form, bless their heart and just keep moving on. All right? Because everybody's got their own deal they're working on. And nobody is the same. Nobody thinks the same. Nobody creates the same. If they did, this would be a really boring place to be. Okay? So, take a deep breath. All right? Because it's all good. However, which way people live their lives. We can only give advice and support. All right? Okay. All right. So there's 8 karmic lords. 8 of them. We've talked about some of them. We've talked about Lady Portia, Lady Nada, and Kuan Yin. And last week we talked about Pallas Athena and Hilarion. Okay? So Lady Portia, she is the complement of Saint Germain and the Violet Flame. And then we have Lady Nada, who is a divine complement of Lord Sananda. So that's them. Okay, and then we have Kuan Yin, and her divine complement is Li Qing. And then we have Pallas Athena and Hilarion. Okay, I know that's 8 of them that I've talked about, but each one represents Lady Nada, Lady Portia, Kuan Yin, and Athena. They all are representatives of the Karmic Board. All right? Okay. All right. So, tonight, we are going to talk about the 8 Lords of Karma. And we're going to, and other things as well. So, just like I just was talking about community karma and personal karma. So we are going to be talking about the 8 members. Now, the first member of the Karmic Board is actually a cosmic being. I don't normally talk about cosmic beings in these videos. Okay, 1, because I have limited knowledge about them. I actually have more knowledge than that, but I don't normally talk about them because I try, my business is to assist humans in their on their path, right? And so cosmic beings are not normally an individual type of being. You know, they're cosmic, so that means that they have like a greater, larger view of things. So the great divine director is a cosmic being. They usually cosmic beings have never been human. Okay, so but they have reference to like humanity, and they also understand energy and balance. Okay, so they're not anything that you would see on earth. Right? Mm-mm. The great divine director looks like a big blue ball of energy, very big. Okay, all right, so they're very, if they want to influence humans, they influence them through higher consciousness. All right, because they're just like, because see, look at I'm talking about them, I'm like, huge. So so what he helps with is assisting with raising your resonance, raising your consciousness. All right, so if you're going to be going to the Karmic Board and you're like, hey, yeah, I'm all into ascension and transcendence and all this stuff, he's going to be like, yeah, you are? Okay, so here we go. Let's show you some like cosmic consciousness. You want this? These are the things that you have to do to get it. All right, so that's what that's basically what he does. He is not an ascended master. He is like cosmic, a cosmic being, a big blue one. And so not only does he assist with Earth, but he also assists with like universes, galaxies, other beings. So it's not just about humanity for the cosmic, for the divine director. He, she, all right? So, huge. All right. That is the divine director. All right. So, the goddess of liberty. Okay. So, she is the second ray. She is the yellow ray. All right. Now, the Statue of Liberty. Have you ever seen it? I'm going to go check it out. Taking the train up there. I want to be up there and I'm going to say, hey, wow. All right. So the goddess of liberty is a spokesperson for the Karmic Board, and she represents the second ray on that board. She is the hierarch of the Temple of the Sun. All right. Her etheric retreat is over the island of Manhattan in New York. She holds the God consciousness of liberty. All right. So, in other words, she is, again, she's not a cosmic being, but she's saying, look at what you have to do to ascend to this level, to this creator or God level. All right. So she's here, and she actually inspires like not just one person, but groups of people. And right now, because Pluto is in Aquarius, you may see these groups of people rise and say, hey, I don't agree with this. What are you doing? We need to change this. So she's like, there are people that are doing that, and individuals have been inspired to create groups to speak out. All right, that's what she does. And so she will, what she does is she like ignites that energy within you to create movement. There's going to be a lot of it now these days. It's going to be really fun. Can't wait. I'm actually excited for this time period. So, um, she's there to assist with that and the spirit of liberty and inspire it. And she's done this in historically, like our revolution, the Civil War, um, the French Revolution, uh, the War of the Roses. She has been there through all of historical, like, upheavals to create balance and liberty for people, right? And she unifies. All right, so that's what she does. And she assists people with not just going out there and rah, rah, rah. She assists people with raising their resonance so that they have a good strategy throughout their movement. So watch the people that are raising up right now, that are talking about freedom, that are talking about liberty, that are talking about this. How are they acting and reacting? What are they doing? Okay, and you'll see their intention. And this is something that the Goddess of Liberty assists with, raising that consciousness up so that people are not just out there being flashy, they're out there actually doing something to assist, right? And they're helping to raise the resonance. They're not martyrs, okay? Don't want any martyrs. What we want and what she inspires is being intelligent and moving from your heart, right? Igniting that heart flame, that higher heart to assist people. All right? Okay, so the goddess of liberty is a patroness of a sacred cause espoused by patriots, and she was revered, and in 1775, Thomas Paine honored her in a ballad called The Liberty Tree. And then again, she's honored again by the Statue of Liberty given to us by France. And France also has a Statue of Liberty. And there are probably other statues of liberty in other places as well. So, the Goddess of Liberty appeared in General Washington during the winter of 1777 and revealed to him America's destiny, giving him the strength and the courage to complete his own mission as the liberator of the 13 original colonies. So, yeah, it's pretty cool, huh? Check that out. And you may want to go check out that whole George Washington thing, because he was inspired. Because 1777, that was a horrible winter. Those soldiers were barefoot, it was freezing cold, and they were starving. And yet they pulled through. Okay. So, Ascended Master Lady Nada. And you can go back and look at her video. At the end of this video, there's going to be a link so you can check out all of the Ascended Master videos, because I've done other ones as well, but this is Lady Nada. And she is of the third ray, the pink ray. And you may have heard me talk about Lady Nada and her pink lightning angels that assist her in all ways. Okay, so Ascended Master Lady Nada is the Chohan of the sixth ray, which is pink again. It's purple and gold, but she is pink. So she is also a member of the Karmic Board, on which she serves as a representative of, in the third ray, pink ray, of divine love. From Nada, we learn the practical application of love and the path of personal Christhood through ministration and service in life. We've talked about that, giving, being of service, right? How do you serve your community? And it could be small things, like donating to your food bank. It could be helping charities. It's volunteer work. It is service. You are serving your community. How do you do that? And do you feel called to do that? Not everybody feels called to do that. Okay? So give yourself a break if you don't feel called to do that. This is how I serve my community, is by creating these videos. Right? And I also donate to St. Jude's because they help little children. All right. And their families as well. Okay. So, that's how I serve. How do you serve? And do you want to serve? Remember, it's all about karma. Karma, karma, karma. Okay. All right. So, Pallas Athena, we talked about her last week. Pallas Athena, she is the goddess of truth. Okay? She's the fifth ray, green ray. All right. So, Pallas Athena, she is truth, and she also, well, she assists a lot with bringing people to the truth, so then they can expand on it, and they can also speak it, right? Because many people don't speak their truth. They talk. They'll talk about it, but speaking truth is not just about talking about it. It's about actually being it. And Pallas Athena can assist you with being truth, being your truth, who you truly are, you know, and making that great discovery. Because learning about yourself is also learning about what is around you. All right. So who are you? What do you want? What's your truth? That's what Pallas Athena is going to ask you. And if you don't know, she's going to help you build a strategy to get to that place. Because that's her job. Pretty cool, huh? Amongst other things. So, the fifth ray is green. And her presence in the universe, in bringing truth, actually will alleviate you. Well, what it will do is it will take off those feelings of illusion, or the illusions that you have about the world and yourself, and it'll bring you to that place, your core. So that's what she does, and she does it not just for one being at a time, but many. So she's a universal goddess. All right. So are you living your truth? Yeah, it can create some karmic stuff if you're not. All right. She's also part of the Great White Brotherhood. And so she, you know, and the Great White Brotherhood is that's a whole thing altogether. And if you want me to do a video on that, I will. It's not, I never get excited about that, but you know, you might be. All right. So that's what Athena assists us with, is getting to our truth so that we can embody it and we can live it, you know. We can live that. All right. So Lady Portia, and the goddess, she is the goddess of justice. She is. And so Lady Portia works with Saint Germain and the Violet Flame. Okay. And so she is all about justice, freedom, mercy, and forgiveness. And then you get Saint Germain, who's all about alchemy. How can we take that and help people find their way to that balance of justice, freedom, forgiveness, and mercy? Through the Violet Flame. So check out Lady Portia and the Violet Flame, Saint Germain, and you'll be able to work that into your, weekly life, like once a day or once a week. Throw down that violet flame, and you'll find that as you do that, as you move through the poem of it, the prayer of it, you will find that you feel cleansed. Your energy field feels expansive. And as you expand your energy field through the violet flame, you'll find that you feel less heavy and your vision is clearer. So you will find that your mind and your vision will assist you with your life a lot better, because you'll have more clarity, balance, and you'll be grounded, right? So that's what they help us with, is that they help us through the violet flame to achieve that energy of freedom, of balance, justice, right? See how they all kind of build up together and work together on this? All right, so she is also part of opportunity. Remember, I said Earth is a free will planet. You have the opportunity to learn and grow, or you have the opportunity to be a rock and sit in one place and not do anything and be a grouch. Up to you, your choice. Because you can always come back and try it again, right? Okay. All right. So she assists with balance, and she's pretty awesome, and she does have a great sense of humor, so you might want to connect with her. All right, so I did do a video on her, and you can check that out on the playlist. So, all right, Kuan Yin. All right, so Kuan Yin is rockin'. She is the goddess of mercy and compassion. She is. And so she is the seventh ray, which is violet. And she is revered. I mean, truly. People truly love her. She is so wonderful. And she is assisted with people, bringing people to peace, which is so great, because inner peace is, we make it so hard to find that, because we have so many judgments. And she can assist you with going, you don't have to be so hard on yourself. Be compassionate to yourself, not just to others. I'm talking about, when I talk about these wondrous ascended masters, I'm not talking about how you should treat others, as I'm talking about how you should treat yourself as well as others. And Kuan Yin can teach you this. She can teach you to quiet yourself, center yourself, ground yourself. And she can also teach you about compassion and mercy and understanding. Okay? Through her mantras, it will shift you, and it will raise your resonance, and you will see things differently through connecting with Kuan Yin. Okay? It is just lovely. So that's how she assists us, finding our inner peace, is through compassion and mercy, and helping us alleviate or get rid of those burdens that weigh us so heavily, that really, does it matter? And why do we hold them to ourselves? So she can assist us with releasing those burdens that are not serving us at all, and bring us back to center and peace. All right, so that's Kuan Yin. She's awesome. So check out the video on Kuan Yin, because there's some things there in the video and the blog that can help you out. All right. So get that whole love thing going on. Love, self-love. Because self-love can help you so much. You know, it just by loving yourself, you will find that you can accomplish so much. Okay? Please do not judge yourself. Judgment is not for humans. Discernment is. All right? Humans are meant to discern. Judgment is too harsh. And look at all the judgment look at how judgment has created chaos in this world. Do we want chaos or do we want peace? Up to us, right? All right. So, the wisdom of the Buddhas. All right. So, the wisdom of Buddha is to be able to, as I was talking about Kuan Yin, is to find that inner strength, inner peace, inner love. It is all within us. Everything that we want, need, desire is within ourselves. It's within our core, right? And that's what the Buddhas remind us of, is that. It's all within you. All this other stuff is all an illusion. All of it is just there to distract us. And so when we start to find that inner peace, that inner love, that centeredness, we start to see all these crazy distractions out there. Whoa. And we don't form an attachment to the crazy. Instead, we see it, we acknowledge it, we know it's there, but that's somebody else's drama, right? That's their thing. And if they ask us for assistance, we're able to assist in a way that is not harsh and that is not attached and that we don't get like triggered from. Yeah? So look at how you interact and react to people. I've asked many of you have asked me about the politics of the day, and I'm like, you gotta let it play out. It has come to a place where it needs to actually play out, right? So that we can create something new. And I say that with like, hey, that's what's got to happen. Because that's what's got to happen. So if you cannot be involved in the strategy to create peace and structure for our politics, then step back. Be aware of what's going on, but step back and don't let it trigger you. Okay? Because again, as a Buddha would say, that is an illusion, and that is something that will distract you from the path that you are on. Right? Be at peace. Be centered. Be grounded. Be at peace. All right. Okay. So we've gone through the Lords of Karma. All right. So here's what the encyclopedia says. All right. So the Creator has anointed these beings to act as mediators between the perfection of the law and the imperfection of those who have departed from the state of grace. The Karmic Board serves, then, as the level of the Christ self of mankind, daily weighing the balance of mankind's use of energy above and below. All right, so the Lords of Karma educate the cycles of individual karma, group karma, and world karma. All right, always seeking to apply the law in the way that give people the best opportunity to make spiritual progress. When the karmic lords release a spiral of karma for the planet, the entire nature of kingdoms play a part in its descent, which is always according to the law of cycles. The elementals have been the foremost instruments of the karmic return of mankind's discord. Okay, all right. The earliest memory we have of this phenomena is the sinking of the continent of Lemur beneath the Pacific many thousands of years ago, for the karma of the abuse of the sacred fire by priests and priestesses at the altars of the Creator. Changes in climate conditions, as well as storm, flood, fire, tornado, and cataclysm, are brought about as a result of man's misuse of the creative power of the Holy Spirit. Now, this is according to the encyclopedia, okay? I'm just saying. So, through these periodic disturbances in nature, when Atlas shrugs off human discord, the balance of the four elements is restored and the four lower bodies of the planet are purified and realigned. So, from what I understand from reading some different prophecies and reading some different things, we're in realignment stage. But the thing is this, and this is the reason why we want to talk about the Karmic Board, like I've been pushed to do this, is that there is a lot going on in the world. And so if you are planning to do something about it, think about it before you do it. Create a good plan. Make sure that no one gets hurt. But what you're planning on doing has an effect that is positive. And that's with anything in your life. You know, because we want to keep that balanced, right? We want to balance. There's a lot of imbalance in the world. And the more individuals balance out, the more it will be balanced, because we're creating that energy of balance. Okay. All right. So we'll talk a little bit more about karma and stuff later on. But I wanted you to understand that there are beings of light that can assist you with balance. And remembering that karma is energy. That's all it is. It's energy. It's what you create. How do you create it? All right. So if you have any questions or anything like that, you can look at my blog. I blog every Monday, pretty much. And the show notes, the notes that I compile for each show, are on the blog on Mondays. Maybe Tuesdays if I don't feel good. All right. And I will also put where I got my information from, so you go check it out too. Make up your own mind what you think about it. And what do you think of the Ascended Masters series? Let me know. And let me know if you want to know more about them or single Ascended Masters, you know, because it's always good to learn what's out there and what can help you. All right. So, have an awesome week. Please stay safe, be present, and keep your heart open and aligned with the energy of love. And I'll see you next week. Bye.